Hi, I'm Hilary Timmins, and if you're wondering why I've been absent from your screens for a while, it's because I've been living here in London. And one of the things that's impressed me most since arriving is the number of New Zealanders doing remarkable things here. This is a series that will enthrall and inspire us as we meet some of those Kiwis living their dreams and taking a little piece of New Zealand to the rest of the world. It's one of the world's most iconic buildings, affectionately known as the Gherkin. But did you know it once sat in the property portfolio of a New Zealander? Meet Kent Gardner, CEO of Evans Randall, with a property portfolio worth over £4 billion.
Born in New Zealand, in Dunedin. I really enjoyed Otago University. I did an accounting degree, so a BCom in accounting, and I also did a law degree. Upbringing and experience at Russell McVeigh was really good training for what I've come to do in the UK. Other things I found is that the quality and the calibre of people in New Zealand and the legal fraternity and the investment bankers is world class. So I think one of the key things about being a Kiwi is we're quite straightforward. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and we're really focused on getting things done.
One of 11 brothers and sisters, Kent still maintains strong links with New Zealand. He was awarded the 2012 UK New Zealander of the Year for his Step Up for Christchurch earthquake fundraising campaign.
When the Christchurch earthquake occurred, we thought, what could we do to assist and to draw attention in London to what had occurred? And one of the assets in our portfolio, the Gherkin, it's an iconic building. So we came up with the idea of a stair climb where you ran 137 steps or 180 metres up the 40 stories of the tower, and got sponsored for that to raise money for Christchurch.
Never one to miss an opportunity to promote New Zealand, Kent came up with a stunt that stumped the best during the Olympics.
It is quite an interesting time during the Olympics, and the real ban on advertising as the Olympic sponsors seek to come to the fore. We had an interesting project where we worked with the New Zealand government to put a silver fern flag on New Zealand House right in central London, 18 stories high, the building, and it was quite interesting. We got a lot of media attention in the UK, but more importantly, I think it was the highest and largest national symbol that was in central London during the time of the Olympics. It was really pushing New Zealand forward and showing our athletes and the people of New Zealand who had lived in London and who had come to London for the Olympics that actually the Kiwis are here and we're having a good time and we're doing it our way.
They're the darlings of the design world, adored by fashion's inner circle, Amelia Wickstead and Snowdon Hill. She designs couture for the Duchess of Cambridge and Samantha Cameron, and he dresses the tresses of some of the world's most beautiful and glamorous women.
I moved to London, and Patrick Cameron, who's another fellow New Zealander, knew Nikki Clark, and he set me up with an interview. And so from there, I worked at Nikki's, and Guido Palau, who worked on all the fashion shows, he asked me to do the shows with him, and that was sort of 18 years ago. McQueen, Valentino, Versace, Prada, Louis Vuitton. In New Zealand, we don't have a class system, so I don't really fit into anywhere, and it doesn't really bother me. New Zealanders, they're sort of very down to earth, and they're very easy, and I think we're really hard workers, and we just fit in and get on with it, really.
Snowdon returns regularly to New Zealand as a celebrity judge at the Hair Awards. His next great adventure is opening a chain of blow-dry bars across London. Welcome to Duck and Dry.
I'm going to be opening 5 to 7, and then the plan is after that is to open up the Snowdon Hill hair salon, so that hopefully I will have all of London covered. All from eating Kiwi kids eat Weet-Bix. I love Amelia Wickstead. She's one of my really good personal friends now, and I was really good friends with her mother. And then Amelia came to London to St Martin's.
Amelia is the daughter of acclaimed New Zealand fashion designer Angela Wickstead, so her cloth was cut from a young age.
My mother's experience was almost like a safety net for me, that she had essentially taught me a lot of what I had studied at university, but to a much higher level, and it was amazing. So it was all sort of there for me to try to do something.
Receiving a New Zealand Arts Foundation award for patronage, Amelia still has strong links to New Zealand and a strong New Zealand clientele.
I think it's influenced my work ethic. I think coming from a place like New Zealand where, you know, growing up young and as a teenager, you're pushed, I think, by parents, and it's sort of normality also to have a weekend job or a job after school and to earn your own money and learn the value of money and essentially work hard for what you want. I think that has stuck with me. The first time I saw someone well-known wearing one of my garments that sort of really made me think, wow, was when Samantha Cameron wore a blue dress outside of Number 10. I do believe for a budding designer in New Zealand that you should just really believe in what you want to do and follow your dreams. I started in the living room of a flat that I rented, and I lived in the bedroom with my now husband, who was then my boyfriend. And we started with £6,000. That was from his first bonus, his first year in banking. And we put together a collection, showed it to friends and family, and the business grew from word of mouth. You know, I used to pretend I was my own assistant. And that was my first call with Vogue magazine. And I still laugh today. A very well-known editor, Sarah Harris, who is one of my close friends now, and we always laugh about it, how I pretended that I was Layla and made her look online at the collection, and she loved it and they wrote a piece. But you know, that's how it starts, and I think that, you know, you just have to look at what is possible and what you can do, because nothing is handed on a silver platter, and often when it is, you don't have that same drive. Just having an idea of where you want to be in a certain amount of time and following that dream and just keeping on going. It's tiresome, but it's great.
He's our homegrown boy from the Hawke's Bay who hit the number ones with Amici Forever. Tonight he's performing at the St James Theatre in London with incognito artists.
I loved singing and performing since I was about 8, and the juxtaposition was that ever since I was about 8, I wanted to be a banker and a chartered accountant because my dad was a chartered accountant and a banker. I went to university and did all my exams, started working for the National Bank, and then realised at 21 years old when my sister died that life is short. So we shot a little audition piece, I sent it to America, and I was the first New Zealander ever to be in the Boston Conservatory. I think because I said I was a chartered accountant at the front of the video, that maybe that set me apart.
After graduating, he moved to London and married childhood sweetheart Simone Lanham. The second life-changing decision.
Simone was the one that said, actually the only reason we're in London is for you. I'd rather be back in New Zealand, you know, with family and friends and stuff. So you've got to make it happen. And she said, the best person to do that is you. So why don't you back yourself? And so that's when Incognito Artist was born. It's a difficult road, but you know, you've got to fail so many times, and I failed. You know, I went for audition after audition, didn't get them, sometimes got them. When you look back, you go, well, actually, that was the stepping stone to this and this and this.
Helen Powell!
Incognito artists employ major stars from the West End and Broadway, performing at private functions around the world.
Amici Forever came about through an incognito gig that we got at the FA Cup final. So we put 3 tenors and 3 divas at the FA Cup final in front of millions, you know, on TV, and 80,000 at Wembley Stadium. Because that was such a huge success, then the world's first opera band was born. We sold 3.5 million albums. We had 2 #1 albums in New Zealand.
Jeff walked away from Amici Forever after his daughter was diagnosed with autism.
She's now 10. She goes to mainstream school. Because of the interesting things that we found out about healing Sienna, we set up a foundation in New Zealand called the Sewell Foundation for Autism. We do run seminars in New Zealand. We fund doctors and training sessions so that we educate parents.
Jeff's latest album, produced at Abbey Road Studios, was released first in New Zealand, with proceeds going towards raising awareness of autism.
Having some great stars from our company, Incognito Artists, singing on it, having Simone singing on it, having my children singing on it.
Let's take this road together.
It's called Live, Love, Sing. It's songs that I just absolutely love and adore. It's just a dream come true.
join me to find out more about these and many, many more amazing Kiwis, their lives here and their continuing connections with New Zealand.